Hey everyone, this is Dan with Low Quality Fishing here. I just wanted to take a minute and talk to everybody about the striper season that's coming up. Everybody knows the spring striper run is great on Cape Cod, and I just wanted to point out a few spots for, where anybody can just get out there, fish from the shore, whether you're able-bodied or not. These are easy access spots that anybody can get to. Um, and they do produce a decent amount of fish. I used to use these spots all the time, around Cape. Recently my horizons have been broadened and I've gotten to kayak fishing and stuff like that. But when I was fishing from shore, these were really my go-to spots, to really catch some striped bass and be successful. What we won't be talking about today is the Cape Cod Canal. I feel like there's a million and one videos talking about the Cape Cod Canal, how to fish it, and so on and so forth. But it's really not practical for somebody just, that may be new to fishing or doesn't have all the right gear or anything like that. So with that, let's get started. Now, the first place we're going to look at is called Scorton Creek. This is a creek that's over in Sandwich. As you can see, it's off North Shore Boulevard. It has a nice parking area right here. Just be mindful of the tide and you don't park too close to the river. I used to like to fish this area on low tide. You see a lot of fly fishermen here along this shore if you're into that kind of thing, but I like to come out here to the end of the creek and fish this mouth of it with, top water poppers, soft plastic swim baits, and so forth. When the tide is low, you can walk across this river to the other side and fish over here. You just have to be mindful of the tide. That way you can get back across before you get stuck. So unless you're really paying attention to the tides and stuff like that, I wouldn't recommend that. But this is one of the good spots to go to on Cape Cod. It's not a far walk from the parking area here, and it does produce some good fish. Not my top spot, but definitely in the top five. All right, so this was my all-time favorite spot to fish on Cape Cod, or basically area. Everybody knows about it, they love it, and that would be Bass River. So Bass River begins on West Dennis Beach here at this jetty, and I used to fish this jetty all the time, thinking it was the best of the best spot, and it does produce a decent amount of fish. But the longer I fish Bass River and the more spots I tried out, actually upriver here, there's a little area where it slims down in Grand Cove off of Cove Road here. So here off of Aunt Julianne, there's a nice dock with a nice parking lot here. You can park here, walk right down to the dock, or you can come down the Cove Road, park right here. There's a pretty decent amount of spots. Walk right down to the dock and fish off this dock. This is a really good spot for young kids or elderly people because it's just got a nice parking lot, nice easy walk down to the dock. There's plenty of space. If you're a little bit older or whatever, and the dock is full, I used to come off of the side here and I would just wade fish and I'd cast out into this cove area and I'd catch just as many fish as people that are fishing on the dock here. Um, Either way, this is just a really great spot. Again, like throw top water poppers, paddle tails, anything like that. I've seen people jigging here before and doing all right. I've seen a lot of people fly fishing over on this side of Cove Road and do very well. Um, Likewise, if you really want to take a walk, you can walk all the way down to this point. I've done that before and it worked out pretty well. If you continue to travel down Bass River, you'll end up in Fallens Pond. I go to Fallens Pond all the time now. This is like my primo kayak fishing spot for striped bass during the spring migration. The great thing about Fallens Pond is striped bass will stay here all year round. They'll stay here during the winter seasons all through the year. So you can come here even before the migration starts when the water starts to warm up. And over here, you can catch plenty of striped bass, sometimes a month before they even show up on Cape Cod. So if you do have a kayak, I would recommend Fallens Pond highly. If you're not catching anything over here by Swamp Cove and Muddy Creek, you could always kayak over here by the boat marina, and you can beach your kayak actually right here and fish into this channel. I've actually had a lot of luck over here in this channel also. So, um, yeah, Bass River, probably the top spot in my opinion. So next up, we have a little spot in Barnstable Harbor. This spot is over here off of Scudder's Lane. Again, nice little parking lot to park at. Basically, what you want to do is you can fish here where the boat ramp is, but I like to walk all the way down here where this boulder field is. I have a bunch of rocks here and a nice little point. Um, I'll basically fish all along this shoreline here, and it usually produces some pretty good results. I haven't been there in a couple years now, but in the past, it was a great spot to go to. I really enjoyed fishing this boulder field. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad. It was kind of like really a hit or miss day, depending on how well um, the season has been. All right, so last on the list, what we're gonna have here is it's called Harding's Beach. Harding's Beach is a great beach to fish. I fish it all the time. What you want to do is park down here at the very end of the parking lot. And then there's two things that you can do. You can either take this beach and fish all the way down this beach, which I will do sometimes depending if I see birds feeding or something like that. But usually what I like to do is I like to come here more at night when the tide is high and it's about to start going down. And my friends and I will walk this path all the way down, basically as fast as we can, down here to Stage Harbor. This is such a great spot to fish when the sun's going down or it's at night, high tide going low. All this water is dumping out of Stage Harbor along with all the bait and all the sediment and stuff like that. If you get yourself a nice, plastic quarter ounce, half ounce jig and just cast into this channel and real slow, you'll have some pretty good results. They also have this jetty here at the end. I don't know if it'll still be here by the time you see this video because the landscape here has been changing so much over the last few years, but at the end of this jetty is a pretty good spot to fish. As you can see, there's this deep spot right here, but basically this whole corner here up into this channel up to this corner is a really good spot. Again, my best luck that I've ever had here has been at night, outgoing tide, plastic swim baits, just casting into this channel here and slowly reeling it in. There's been days that my friends and I have caught 25 to 35 striped bass each, and sometimes they're small, but a lot of times we'll go there and they'll be big bass. I'm talking anywhere between 28 to 35 inches every time you hook one.